I've done about 190 events in 40 states in 2.5 years. In places like Alabama and Kansas and Iowa and Wisconsin, where they've never met an undocumented person who's not quote unquote Mexican. Or, oh, you speak English so well. Oh, you seem American. Well, I am. This is my country. This is where this is my home. I am an undocumented American. That's actually the term that I prefer. I was born in the Philippines and moved to this country when I was 12, and then found out that I was undocumented when I was 16, when I went to the DMV to apply for a driver's license, and worked as a journalist for 14 years. And then 2 years ago, about more than 2 years ago, I publicly outed myself as undocumented, and started a campaign called Define American, which is really a media and culture campaign that elevates how we talk about immigration and citizenship, because I think those two things are linked together, immigration and citizenship in a changing America. So we're trying to use media and culture to kind of impact how we talk about these issues. I have always thought that there was a big gap between the perception of what people think people like me are about and what illegal immigration is versus what the reality is. I would not have predicted that the gap is oceanic. It's like an ocean, man. Like, it's literally where you talk to people, everyday people, not people who know what Politico is or tune in on this versus CNN versus Fox, MSNBC, like regular people, right? In terms of the argument that, to me, whenever we talk about quote-unquote CIR, I actually don't use that term. I don't use CIR. What I say is immigration reform to me means being able to see my mom, who I haven't seen for 20 years this past August. Immigration reform to me means a driver's license. Is there anything more American than driving? I would love to own a car. I would love to get insurance. I would love to be able to drive and go through drive-through eating. Like, is there anything, more American than being able to do that, right? So when you explain to them that it's about seeing your family and being reunited with your family, it's about driving and being able to go to the airport and not peeing your pants because you're worried about flying with no proper documentation. When you humanize this issue and make it about that, and not make it about Republican versus Democrat versus whatever these other phrases are, it's really important that we have a much more accessible conversation, right? A more accessible conversation, a less political conversation with our fellow Americans, right? I think that's really important.